This garlic mozzarella snails in creamy garlic sauce. Yeah. Sis.
You wouldn't eat that, no? Some people think it's a delicacy. Like you're fancy when you eat those things.
Snails.
Yeah, they're like prawns. Prawns are fancy,
Things that were
apparently.
in dead. That were crawling in dead.
Slithering on the ground. They're fancy, like prawns. Actually, when you like prawns, you and your dad like prawns. Uh,
Sis.
we are on. We are on. Can we talk? Can we go? You want to welcome them?
Hello, guys.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. We know that we've been off for some time, and yeah, that is due to unforeseen circumstances, unpredictable circumstances. And yeah, we did promise a YouTube page where we would be documenting our daily lives, the milestones that we passed together, birthdays,
Schools.
yeah. I was looking forward to you learning how to cook certain dishes, you learning how to drive, you learning how to play hockey and tennis. I was also looking forward to observing Kawe's developmental skills. Like, I wanted to find out, is she more on the artistic side or more on the athletic side?
Or academic side.
Yeah. So, but anyway, nonetheless, we are here. And the reason we are here today is because we want to.
Explain a few things.
And the reason being, we want to own our own story and control our own narrative. A few days back, things came out in the tabloid about our current living situation. After moving around for a while for the past 3 months, we finally got approved to live in not a homeless shelter. Please let's correct that. It's not a homeless shelter. It's a safety home for mothers and children.
Like, I've been seeing on tabloids, homeless shelter, and I'm like, no, guys, it's a safety home. Homeless shelter sounds like there's families here, like squished together, like guys,
Living in a big hole like sardines type of situation.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's not that. We're actually very comfortable there. Hot water, baths, showers.
Everybody has their own room.
Everybody has their own room. Food is provided for. And transport is provided for when you need to go somewhere for safety reasons. The area itself is also guarded by the SAPS as well as the security patrol around the area. Don't mention that. I hope they didn't get it.
What?
Yeah. Anyway, that is all over South Africa, so they won't know which specific one. The thing is, that security company works with specific areas. And remember, we do not disclose the location. That's why we can't record this.
Because Mamba works with my school.
Yeah. So we cannot disclose the exact location.
Yeah.
And that's why we are recording this here at the restaurant so that nobody sees anything in the background that might give off an idea. Okay, so where do we start? Today we want to come here and explain how did we get here, answer some of your questions regarding the news that was all over the tabloids. I do notice that different news channels were trying to contact me to come and do an interview. Publications as well.
We did not do this for fame. We did not do this for fame.
I turned them all down because I'm not talking about my book here. Okay, where were you guys when I wanted to promote my book? But anyway, this is our circumstance at the moment, and we don't want to be going out there and talking about it over and over again for fame. What purpose would that serve? However, we would like to, put those whose hearts are uneasy and worried about the kids, worried about me, at peace, and let you know that we are good, we are safe. Thank you so much for your efforts to reach out to us, and those who were willing to contribute financially. Thank you for that as well. But you had something to say about the financial contribution.
I wanted to say that, guys, please don't like do your media things and try to say, oh no, what if she did this all for the money and all of that stuff. You must remember that when my mom originally posted this, she did say in one of her posts that she doesn't want financial help, even though yes, that is wonderful. I wouldn't be able to get this almost finished chocolate milkshake over here if it wasn't for you guys sending the love. But she said she wants prayers, and I also want prayers too. Trust me, I'm a Christian girlie. Now I'm a Christian girl. Yo,
Prayers and a job. Prayers and a job.
and jobs and
Job offers.
because of you guys and your support, my mom has gotten so many job offers, and she's like so grateful. So like, please don't like do your media things and say, oh, but what's that other celebrity that also had problems?
And people were donating to her. Brenda Ngoli.
Can I say Brenda?
No, she's older than you. She's Auntie Brenda.
Auntie
Ngoli.
Brenda Ngoli. Her situation was unfortunate, and we all understand that. And yes, she did need the help when it comes to the money, but it doesn't mean we're trying to recreate that situation. And with there's many more celebrities who are suffering, and that's just to show that this industry doesn't give money like billions of dollars. It's like it's a tough industry. They can pay you like 100 rand for all they care, as long as they are getting the views and the likes and the subscriptions and all of that. So thank you for the financial help, but my mom, all she wants is prayers and job opportunities.
And to add on to that, obviously she's saying that because she's heard me say it a couple of times. The TV industry or the entertainment industry in a whole is literally a risky place to work in, because once you lose your job, you lose your job. And there is no 3 months notice. There is no unemployment funds after that. Really, you hardly get your taxes back. Hardly. And we are taxed 25% monthly. And yeah, I think that's the reality I had to come to. And the problem with that is, with the entertainment industry, you can't say in 3 months' time I'll have a job. No, it doesn't matter how good of an actress, actor, entertainer you are. You cannot give yourself a guaranteed timeline for by this time I'll have a job. So a lot of people have been asking, but how come hasn't she saved money? Didn't you save money? How come you haven't built a house for your children yet, or bought for a house for your children yet? And things like, why don't you just go back home to Limpopo? I'm not gonna answer the last one now, because it's a whole
Like 2 episodes worthy.
It's finished.
I know.
You're busy making noise, sucking it out like the last bit of it. So the part about why we don't go back to Limpopo, it's honestly very complicated. I cannot explain.
Like 2 episodes
worth, because I have to mince my words. There's certain individuals I can't mention out of respect, But I wanted to answer the thing of saving. I was told when I got into the industry that as an actor, save 3 months worth of your salary, because you never know what might happen. And I did. And yes, we lived on it for 3 months exactly. It was gone. They repossessed my car. The landlord allowed us to stay in that place for about 6 months, unpaid rent, and that's because he was understanding.
And he was being legal.
Yeah, he was following the legal route and understanding of the abusive situation that we were living in. My mother even had to end up selling her car and start using public transportation at the age of 62. Start using public transportation and walking again, because she had to sell her car to help us stay in that place. We have considered downgrading, so we did downgrade. In 2023, we'll move to a smaller space, but still we had to move within the area that my daughter's school is in. So the downgrade wasn't that big. You could say it was just 1,002 lower than what we would pay. With that out of the way, though, today we do want to share an update on some pleasant news.
Very pleasant.
Yeah, I don't want to start. I think I might get emotional.
Okay, so guys, drum roll please. Kale is going to school now. Yay!
Oh, that is so beautiful to hear. You know, that's why she's not part of us right now. She's still at school. We are having lunch somewhere, and you just collected your report today. Oh, by the way, before we talk about Kawe, I need to tell them. Listen, it's been a tough 3 months. Okay, living in this place and that place, living in that place and that place, literally changing places we live in weekly. But can I tell you, this girl right here, her report is so impressive. I don't even know how she did it. I don't even know how she did it. Her teacher also asked me, "What? It's your daughter is such a hardworking person, you know, but she's kind of reserved. So I wonder if that is due to the situation at home, or is that how she is? Reserved here in a way, nah. Writing
I'm a
letters
good
to
child.
your friends in class and slipping them.
I'm good at it. That's why I know how to do it nicely. Nicely, so. I'm the goodest child, guys.
So do you think not having a phone for a while kind of helped you?
No. Now I can do the same
But
thing
you only
again.
got your phone back now. Like, you only got your phone back today because your work was so impressive. You know, where are the Soviets here?
So, yes.
Never mind. Let's put that side. So let's get back to the exciting news. When Kawi was born, her dad left 2 months after, and we've never heard from him since. He does not support Kawe because he's also not financially stable. The last I heard of him, he's unemployed. But we don't communicate, we don't talk. And so Kawe has literally been raised by a village. I always say Kawe Kingwana was Chaba because from the day she was born, people have just been contributing towards her growth. Something as little as diapers to something as big as a photo shoot for her birthday. In between that, it's the regular clothes because, you know, they grow monthly. And baby formula as well. I was always blessed with people who were generous, who wanted to contribute to her upbringing because they knew I was a single parent and they knew at the time I wasn't working. And they also knew that in our industry, if you're not working, you're not getting paid. However, I had no idea how many angels God will bring us regarding this child. Must remember, Kawe was born blue, basically a stillborn baby. And while they were resuscitating me back to life, her pediatrician decided to do the same. But she stayed in.
Mom, just to say, me, every time you say Kawa was born blue, not to sound crazy, but every time you say that, now I start thinking of a baby avatar.
I started thinking of a baby Smurf.
Smurf is worse. At least avatars are like beautiful.
Avatars are ugly.
No, they are beautiful.
No, they're ugly.
They're saying
But
they're
Lynn,
ugly because of their nose.
The problem is I didn't see her. So when they tell me she was born blue, I imagine it too. You know? But some people have seen videos on Instagram and stuff with pipes in her nose and her mouth and stuff. So she stayed in ICU for a good month, doing all sorts of tests because they had suspected that she was probably never going to talk or she's not going to walk on time. They even suspected autism. They suspected her eyesight might not be good either because the lack of oxygen in her brain affected those areas. And after a month of doing tests, we went home with her and they said that she would suffer from seizures for the rest of her life. She's only had like 3 seizures. How many times have you been to the seizure attacks since she was born?
Oh, I thought you were saying this year. This year, none.
And last year, none.
No.
Last year, she never had seizures, Rabi.
Oh, yeah. Like the last time she had was 2020.
In the new place we were staying in, she had never had a seizure.
Yeah.
The last time she had a seizure was when we were still living in the old place.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah.
So by now, like, she would have just had 5.
Yeah, no, 3. The ones that made us rush to not counting the one in Limpopo when you guys were there for school holidays 2 years back.
Yeah.
My point is, this child is strong. She literally fought to be on this earth. She wasn't meant to be on this earth in this lifetime, but she forced her way in.
She's a real cover, guys.
Absolutely. So, we're explaining that backstory because she hasn't gone to school since she was born because of financial reasons. I know that preschools can be 800 rand, but the area we lived in, all preschools, there was nothing less than 2.8 a month, which I could not afford. I was already struggling with rent already as it was. Did I mention that why do we live in this area? Because people are thinking then just move. Why do you live in that area? Did I mention that it's because it's closer to your school?
No, you didn't
Okay, we live in that particular area because it's closer to a school, and I don't believe in a child having to be in public transportation for an hour to get to school. It doesn't make sense to me. Pella, this child is gonna sleep on the way to school. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. A child must live 15 minutes away from school, also for emergency purposes. If they come and say your child is sick, I can't be now thinking of an hour trip to get to you, you know? So, Kawe hasn't been to school. And most people don't believe me when I say that.
Especially now the preschool teachers, she does work that a 5-year-old does. That's how good she is in school. And trust me, I saw her myself. I went with her the first 2 days of school. Even though like she doesn't really play with the kids there, she plays with herself. She's like,
She's always been a loner. She's always been a person who can play by herself and find entertainment. But you know what shocks me most? Remember how I used to say I'm scared that when she goes to school they might push her back because maybe she's not developed in certain areas like coloring within the lines and being able to do the alphabet. But we taught her all of that. I mean, she could even sign language at a young age. We didn't know how to sign language.
Like, she's the only one in the class who knows how to properly count up to like 50.
You lie.
I taught Kawa how to count up to 50. When she wasn't doing it right, I'd make her start all over. And she'd look at me like, oh, I'm a child. I'm like, no, you're gonna count up to 50.
Yeah. But anyway, Kawa is at school, guys. Kawa is finally in school. I was praying for that day to come, and it came within the midst of our misfortunes. How crazy is that?
Honestly, like, I guess it's a like kind of way to show that it's like a ray of light, like things are still gonna be okay.
Yeah, and God works in mysterious ways. I think you may be asking yourself right now, how do they seem so happy and content despite their situation? I've since learned that accepting your situation, despite the shame that comes with it, despite the humiliation that comes with it, the fact that you have accepted is the first step to finding a solution, and it's the first step to healing. So we will close it with exactly that, healing. Rabi, I'm going to put you on the spot.
On the spot,
yeah.
Healing. Okay.
No, I want to ask you, in terms of healing, I know that you've been doing therapy. And I know that you didn't go to school the last week of school this term because you just needed to deal with what was happening and process it.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go back to school next term?
Kind of nervous, but yeah, I think everything will be like, okay, yeah.
I think what I want to ask is how are you going to feel when your friends are like, hey, we saw your story, you and your mom's story in the tabloids that you guys are living in a shelter because everybody keeps calling it a shelter.
Well,
what are you going to say?
It would depend on like how they're saying it, like facial expression and like their attitude and their voice. If they're just asking, like genuinely asking, like, are you okay and stuff, I would tell them like, yeah, it's okay, because it's already in the tablets. It's not like I'm hiding. But like if they ask me like in front of people and they're like, oh my gosh, Ravi, you're staying in a shelter but you still act bougie like this. First of all, guys, I know when I was in heaven and people were deciding their ranking of wealth, I told them. I know that
Are you having another milkshake? No, you're not, right? Let's get proper food and then go. Okay?
I told them myself, like when I was in heaven and they were deciding what their ranking was. Now I know I'm supposed to be a zillionaire. I'm sorry,
when
guys.
did this happen?
I'm pretty sure when I was in heaven, I was like, I'm going to be a zillionaire. When I grow up, I want to be richer than Elon Musk.
I want to know how you're going to deal with the bullying, baby, on a serious note. And this could be a teachable lesson for another kid who's going through the same and they're kind of embarrassed and they have low self-esteem that their friends probably know about this. I mean, you are used to your life being in the public eye. So many events have been publicized about your mom, her marriage, her almost dying in hospital, her divorce. You know, you've been in the papers too, by the way. You may not remember, but you were 5 years and you have a whole article in Drum magazine with your pictures.
Saying what? Oh, this is a kid.